What's up, everybody out there in podcast world and podcast land? Welcome to the T2 podcast with your boy Justin J. Will, whatever you want to call him. How y'all doing out there on this lovely Friday? Hope y'all are doing well, ready for the weekend, ready to turn up, ready to chill, ready to kick it with your kids, ready to rest. Whatever you got going on, I appreciate you tuning in to the T2 before you do it. Because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So I appreciate that, man. So I'm doing all right. I'm alive. I'm breathing. No complaints here. Just taking it one day at a time, man. You know, finna give you this cheap truth going into your weekend, like I do all the time. So I have to continue with that, and I'm going to do just that today. So I'm just about to hop right into it, man. So, well, first of all, let me tell y'all something. I don't care how tough you are, man. Uh, I don't care how many bodies you done caught. That's pertaining to homicides. I don't care if you done caught many bodies, man. If you a mob hitman out here, jumping out with your Tommy gun, murdering people in the garage, St. Times, Valentine's Day Massacre type stuff. Or if you are a beast on the streets with your hands and your boxing gloves, or UFC fighter, mixed martial artist. I don't care if you eat nails for dinner. I don't care if you eat nail cereal. I don't care what you do. A toothache will bring the toughest person to their knees. Yes, a toothache. That will bring the toughest person to their knees, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you think you are. I don't care how tough you may be. I don't care how hard you are. Like, man, look here. A toothache will bring anybody to their damn knees. Like comedian that said, man, turn a body what did the comedian that say? Turn a bodybuilder into a pipsqueak. Like real quick, man. A toothache is not what you want to have, and I'm saying that because I got one, and it's just really annoying. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just really annoying. It's a toothache is one of those things where like it never really goes away until you go to the dentist and you get the root problem fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a toothache, if a tooth is really hurting you, like say your wisdom tooth is hurting you. Well, okay, there's nothing they really can do except for remove it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the root. That's the problem. Like you need to remove it. The solution is removing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not nothing that you can really take that's going to cure the problem forever. Like you really got to just hope that it goes away. Just pray to God, like, God, I hope this goes away forever, or it goes away for a year and then it comes back. Or, you could take something, I guess. I mean, you could take something, if you got some opioids, or if you got, like oxycodone or something, or just an Advil, depending upon how bad the pain is, that will determine how, what type of medicine you need to take for it or whatever. You might need, maybe an Advil does the job, ibuprofen, or maybe you need to go get a prescription for something like some oxycodone or something. But, regardless, it ain't one of those things you want to play with, man. So don't be like Justin, man, and half-ass on your dentist appointments and stuff like that. Don't be like me, okay? Because a toothache ain't nothing to play with. It's really not. Like, seriously, man. If you wanna get back at somebody, man, just pray to God that they get a toothache. I'm telling you, man, it will bring the toughest person. It will bring the hardest person to their knees. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's just not nothing to play with, man. So don't be out here playing with your teeth, man. Go see your dentist. Go get your cleanings. Take care of your teeth, man. Brush what they say, like twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever. Floss, do all that, man. Because I swear, it's nothing that you want to play with. Like I remember one time I was at work and what was I doing? I was at my desk and I was I was eating a cookie. And this was, I still had my wisdom teeth at the time. Like I got all 4 of them removed now. I didn't get all of them removed at the same time, but I still had, some in my mouth or whatever. So I was chewing on that side And man, when I tell you, I bit down and I just felt like the worst pain I ever felt in my life. Well, one of the worst pains I ever felt in my life. Man, like I had to do everything in my power to not scream. You know how, man, you may be hurting or like something happen, like say you catch a cramp or, you know, you just make some awkward movement or something and you just don't want people to know that something's wrong with you. So you try to be cool or whatever, or you may, you know what I'm saying, readjust your position or whatever. Like I was doing my best to not scream because I was just like, man. Man, I had to leave work that day because I was just in that much pain. Like that stuff really hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then when I went to the doctor, when I went to the dentist, they were like, "Yeah, your tooth is like cracked or something." Like, so that's what happened. Like that wisdom tooth had, you know what I'm saying, was basically destroyed and had to be taken out. So I went ahead and got to move on that, man. So anyway, starting out the Cheat Truth, man, telling y'all very important message, man. Go see your dentist. Take care of your teeth, man. Take care of that smile, man. 'Cause your boy Justin J. Will, man, I love to see you smile. Okay? All right. So anyway, man, Cheat Truth podcast, man. I got a couple things on my mind here, and I'm coming in hot on one topic that I actually talked about on the last podcast. And if you hadn't listened to the last podcast, you should listen to it because I talk about the Reuben Foster incident, which I'm about to talk about now because I got some more opinions on it. Because the girl actually made her testimony today, testified, made some statements. So I talked about that and some other things. So go listen to it if you didn't listen to it. But hopping right into it, man. So today you had Reuben Foster's accuser, Lisa Ennis. She actually made some statements today in court. Basically saying, hey, I lied. In a nutshell, she lied. She, gave her side of the story. Said, hey, I lied. This stuff wasn't true. I was trying to get back at him. I wanted to end his career. All that, man. This, that, and the third. So I'm about to read a little bit of this ESPN article right here. I'll actually link it in the description so you can read it for yourself. And I would advise you guys, please read it. Please read it. Please read it. Read this article, man. Please. But I'm going to read a couple snippets right here. So, Elisa Ennis, the former girlfriend of San Francisco 49ers linebacker Reuben Foster, testified Thursday in a preliminary hearing that Foster never put his hands on her and that she lied a lot to authorities about an alleged domestic violence incident. Ennis, who testified against the advice of her attorney, Stephanie Rickard, said she made up the story because she wanted to ruin Foster's career and sue him for money after he broke up with her on the morning of February 11th. She also admitted to falsely accusing a former boyfriend of domestic violence in Louisiana in 2011 after he attempted to break up with her. Ennis said she felt she needed to tell the truth because she had to do the right thing, even if it meant admitting to previous lies to the police and to stealing money and 2 Rolex watches, not one, 2 Rolex watches from Foster in the days after their breakup. I was pissed and I wanted to end him, Ennis testified. By the time she was done, Ennis had been on the stand for about 2 hours and broke down in tears multiple times when recounting her and Foster's breakup, which she said led to her attempt to ruin Foster's career and execute what she called a money scheme. So, skip a little bit here. After the February 11 incident at his home in Los Gatos, California, Foster was arraigned on felony charges of domestic violence, forcefully attempted to prevent a victim from reporting a crime, and possessing an assault weapon. Those charges came after Ennis told authorities that Foster had hit her 8 to 10 times, dragged her out of his house, threw her to the ground, and spit on her in a domestic altercation. Ennis alleged that Foster broke her phone and threw their dog at her. Among the injuries Ennis suffered was a ruptured eardrum that required a hospital visit later in the day. She testified Thursday morning that all those allegations were lies. And it says right here in quotes, "I was pissed and I wanted to end him." And it goes on to say in the article that those injuries took place. The injuries happened in a fight that took place in San Francisco on February 10th. Basically a road rage incident, and they pulled over and fought, Peter Griffin, Quagmire type stuff. If you guys remember that Family Guy episode, you guys probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, pulled over, they fought, this, that, and the third, and that's where the injuries came from. So I mean, if you read this article, it just outlines, that she lied. She just lied. She goes on to say, "I lied. I was agitated. I was mad because you wanted to break up with me, and I wanted to end his career." That's basically what the article is saying, and that's what she, admitted to today in a court of law. So, like I said in the last podcast, man. First of all, man, I'm very happy for Reuben Foster. Okay, I'm very happy for Reuben Foster, man. I don't know Reuben Foster at all, but I'm happy for this brother, man. And you guys should be happy for him too. Like, regardless who you are, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, girl, boy, woman, man, you should be happy for this guy, man. Because his career could have been messed up. To an extent, it kind of is, because now, no matter what, I guess this statement kind of alleviates that a little bit. But to some people, he'll always be guilty, no matter what, because in America, especially if you're a black guy, you're a black athlete, you're a black football player, all somebody has to do is accuse you of something, and you are automatically guilty. It doesn't matter if you say, "Yeah, I didn't do it." It doesn't matter if the person says, "Yeah, I lied about it." They will say, "Yeah, you paid them off to say that." Or even if you admit to it, they'll say, "Okay, yeah, you did it." And if you didn't do it, if you say you did do it, they'll say, "Well, no, you did it." So no matter what, you are guilty. But yeah, I'm glad for Reuben Foster, man. Shout out to the 49ers, John Lynch, and those guys for sticking by him, man. Not folding under pressure, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember I had a podcast episode I was talking about, man, standing on your own too. You got to stand on your own too, man. You got to stand firm on what you believe in, man. Don't let nobody knock you off your spot, man. Don't let nobody knock you off your position. And that's what the 49ers did, man. I commend them for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how easy could it have been for them to just fold under pressure? I mean, you got all these people. You got guys like Mike Tanier or Mike Tanier, however the hell you pronounce his name. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm after him. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Anybody else who wanted to just convict this man without having evidence, without waiting on the facts to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, how easy could it have been for the 49ers to fold under pressure and just release him? Nobody would have blamed him. As a matter of fact, they would have got cool points from a lot of people. They would have just released this man. But they didn't. They stuck by him. Now, if he was of course, him being a first round pick and him having, all sorts of upside, of course that had something to do with them keeping him. Like, if he was just a 7th round pick out of Roast Beef Tech or, Idaho or something like that, of course they would have released him. I mean, they would have released him no problem. But yeah, 1st round pick, Alabama, seems to be a promising player. Yeah, of course you keep on. You hold on to that. And I don't blame him. And when you had these writers coming out trying to, assassinate the 49ers, trying to assassinate John Lynch and trying to assassinate Reuben Foster for this stuff, you had them coming out writing all sorts of articles and talking about how it's stupid and how, them holding on to a woman beater is not good. It's not a good look. Like you just down talking the man, without letting the process play out. Screw the process, man. Screw due process. Screw all that. Like, just throw all that out the window when it comes to domestic violence. Why? Why, man? Like, I'm so glad that the 49ers decided not to do that, man. You know, because you had people out here who really wanted. You had this lady right here, man. This woman, this trifling woman, who had an agenda. She had an agenda, man. She did what so many people do, and a lot of, I'm sorry, lady, Cheap True listeners, man, but I'm going to say it. She did what a lot of females do, man. That's act off emotion. You know what I'm saying? Act off emotion. And she did her best, man. She really wanted to end. She said it herself, I wanted to end him. I wanted to end his career. She even admitted to doing the same thing in 2011, falsely accusing somebody of domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? It says here in the article, she admitted to stealing more than $8,000 from Foster after taking his account and routing numbers. That money has since been seized by the bank and returned to Foster. But Ennis says she still has the 2 Rolexes she took from Foster in a safe deposit box in Louisiana. So, I mean, that's another layer to it. You know what I'm saying? She stole $8,000 from the guy. 2 Rolex watches. Still got them. I mean, come on, man. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, why is it so hard to believe that there are bad people in this world? Why? Let me put it like this. Why is it so hard to believe that there are bad people in this world when it comes to domestic violence? On both ends. Of course, we know that there are bad dudes out here. We know that there are dudes out here that beat on women, that slap women, that talk to women any kind of way, that disrespect women. And if they are doing those things, I believe that they should be dealt with appropriately. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they do, for the most part. But I'm just saying, when it comes to something like this, and you have this woman who has come out and said, yeah, I lied. Yeah, I've done this, that, and the third. I've stolen money from her. I've stolen things from her. I made this up to try and end his career. When you have ladies like this that come out and say these types of things, and they do these types of things, man, like, why is it so hard to believe that, you know, they're guilty or whatever, man? Why is it so hard to believe that there are women in this world that will do this? Like, I just don't get it. If it's easy enough for you to believe that a dude will punch a girl in the forehead, why is it so hard for somebody to believe that they will lie about it? Why? Because you want to be safer than sorry? No, screw that. No. No. I want to get it. No. I want to get it right. Like my boy Carlos said, man, everybody want to be right, man. Get it right. I'm worried about getting it right, man. What's right? What's the facts? Show me the facts. The fact of the matter is, she lied. Give me the facts, man. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about trying to look. I'm not worried about being safe and sorry when it comes to domestic violence and talking about it. Yeah, I understand it could be a slippery slope. But at the same time, man, you got to use common sense. And you got to be objective, man. That's just like, man, I remember Stephen A. said this, man. And he got suspended for it. He said this was when the Ray Rice thing was happening. You know, the Ray Rice video came out or whatever. And he was basically saying, like, hey, you know, you got to watch out. You can't, you know, as ladies, nobody should be putting their hands on each other. And he was like, yeah, I tell my people all the time, my sister, whatever, like, hey, you got to make sure that you don't provoke people to do something to you. And everybody just went crazy. Everybody just went crazy over that. They knew what the hell Stephen A was talking about, man. They knew what the hell he was talking about. Now, Stephen A is a big figure, and of course, whenever he says something, they are gonna throw darts at it, and of course they want to see him fall. Of course they're gonna do whatever they can to dissect every word that he says, and they are gonna try to turn those things against him because of who he is. Of course, he's a big name. But y'all knew what the hell he was talking about. I knew what he was talking about, and he was damn right. You know what I'm saying? And he was right. He said the right thing. And I'm pretty sure, man, there are a lot of women who agree with what he said. But, of course, mainstream media, of course, ESPN folded under pressure. Because the thing is, he said that, and a couple days went by, so they didn't do anything. It wasn't until like a couple days later that people really started kind of, it started to become a big story. And then that's when he apologized. So, anyway, regardless, man, the whole domestic violence discussion, man, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with being objective, man. There's nothing wrong with being objective. Nothing wrong at all. You have women like her. Like, she deserves to be prosecuted. She deserves to be punished. She won't be punished. Nothing will happen. Crying in court, got an attorney. Hey, we're going to have pity on her. Nothing's going to happen to her. Nothing at all. Nothing ever happens to women in these cases, man. Nothing. You know? I mean, just just blatant, just trying to frame somebody, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like framing somebody for a murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's basically the same concept. I mean, this guy was about to do like 10 years behind this stuff. Because she wanted to lie. Because she got emotional. Because she had an agenda. You feel me? Like, it's just crazy, man. That's crazy. So, I'm happy Reuben Foster got out that jail, man. Like I said last episode, I hope that this teaches him. I hope that this just does something to him to straighten himself out. For one, watch who the hell he deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, from women to anybody. Women to homeboys, whoever. Watch who you dealing with. Because everybody's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how many times you have sex with that girl. Like, or how many things you buy for her, how many times she says she loves you, man. You never know what's on a person's heart. You know, what's deep down in their heart, man. What they'll do when they get pushed to that level. We saw what she'll do. And I believe she deserves to be punished for it. She won't, but she deserves to be punished for it. And all those writers that was out here writing and trying to get Reuben Foster released, man, they need to come out and apologize to him, man. Apologize to that young man. Y'all want to drag his name through the mud. Y'all quit to drag his name through the mud, man. But y'all don't want to apologize. Y'all don't want to come out and say, yeah, I was wrong. Don't nobody want to do that. I mean, I guess that's just the way of the world, man. That's the way the world works. What's that saying, man? They whisper your successes and scream your failures. That's the way it works, man. So hope that let this be a lesson to people out there too, man. Watch who you dealing with, man. Real talk, man. Watch who you dealing with. You don't know what's going on in people's heads, man. You know, me personally, I mean, I'm just kind of messed up anyway. Like, I don't really trust too many people, regardless, for a variety of reasons and a variety of past situations. Like, that's just me. But, man, real talk, man. Watch who you dating. Watch who you going with. Watch who you ladies, watch these dudes. Dudes, watch these ladies. Seriously, man. I mean, it's kind of scary when you think about it, man, that somebody could actually do this. Now, it's people who have done this type of things, man, and they've gotten away with it. Like, how many stories have come out in the last couple of weeks of people who have been locked up in prison for like 20 years? And they're just now getting free. They were wrongly locked up. They're innocent in those cases. Could you imagine being locked up for something you didn't do? Like, do you know how scary that is? Imagine, seriously, like if you're really innocent, like you just framed on some movie type stuff. Now that's messed up. That is messed up. That is messed up, and that is scary. You in prison for doing absolutely nothing. Like you didn't do anything that they are accusing you of. Imagine Reuben Foster had went to jail for this, man. He didn't do nothing. He didn't lay a finger on her. He know in the back of his mind she lying. She know that she lying. And he still ends up in prison, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy and that's scary, man. So watch who you dealing with. Shout out to Reuben Foster, man. I'm glad he got off. I just hope this just awakens him, per se. And he can just kind of get back on the right path. He had some incidents at Alabama. He had the thing at, the combine, getting kicked out the combine. But hopefully this does something to him, man. Just make him a better person, man. Hopefully it makes him a better person. So shout out to Reuben Foster, man. I hope this girl gets prosecuted because what she tried to do and what she was doing was very wrong. And she deserves to be punished for it. So even if she doesn't get punished in the court of law, she will be punished in life. So anyway, she'll get her karma regardless. But it is what it is, man. So anyway, moving along. Let's talk about that boy Dez Bryant, man. Dez Bryant, number 88. Throw up the X. Dez Bryant. If you guys want to see something funny, go on YouTube and search for Dez Bryant rap. And you will see a video that contains him, Jimmy Clausen, who else was it? Montario Hardesty, Antonio Brown, and some more guys. So a rookie photo shoot. It's like photo shoot for like some type of cars or something. And they had music playing. They were passing the mic around. They were rapping. So it's a funny video, especially when Jimmy Clausen tries to get on there and rap. So if you want to get some giggles in before your weekend starts, look up that video. But yeah, man, Dez Bryant still a free agent. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in Dez. Apparently, he actually turned down a contract with the Ravens. And after that, the Ravens went on to sign Willie Snead, and they are no longer interested in him. There's not been a lot of interest in Dez Bryant, man. So he is still a free agent, and he basically wants a 1-year prove-it deal, which a lot of football players, they'll do. Like they'll get the 1-year prove-it deal. Like, hey, I'm still pretty good. Hey, I'm really good. And then they finish their 1-year deal in hopes of getting a better deal. So, hey, I'm approved for 1 year, and then somebody else is going to want to sign me to a longer-term deal that's worth more money. So that's what Dez Bryant wants at this point. And apparently he's not getting it. Or the numbers that he wants, he's not getting it. So he's still a free agent. Now, Dez Bryant, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I still think he has something left in the tank. Like, I don't think he's not bad enough, or he hasn't produced on a low enough level over the past few years for me to say, yeah, he does deserve to be in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should definitely be on somebody's team. I think he can produce. Now, is he gonna go out there and get like 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 90 receptions, something like that? No, he's never going to get that again. Unless he get on that juice. Get on that Mark Ingram plan. Them PEDs. Maybe he does that. But even then, he probably still couldn't do it. But regardless, man, yeah, I don't think that he's not there yet to where he shouldn't be on a NFL roster. I think that he could still provide some value especially in the red zone. You know, I could see him going to somebody like the 49ers. I think the 49ers could use some receiver help. You know, they could use somebody down there, especially in the red zone. Now, only thing with that would be, hey, do you trust Dez Bryant with Jimmy Garoppolo? You know, do you think that Dez Bryant would stunt Jimmy Garoppolo's growth? You know, what kind of guy would he be in the locker room? So you have that going for you. But yeah, I mean, if you put him with the Packers, I think Aaron Rodgers and him could have some type of connection. But you know, man, Dez is all about Dez, man. Yeah, he has an ego. He has an ego, man. I mean, he's one of those guys that he truly does believe in himself. What you should definitely believe in yourself, and he does not care what anybody else thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he thinks that he can do it. He thinks that he can still perform on a high level. He thinks that he still deserves a lot of money. So he is going to, you know, do whatever it takes, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Or wait for as long as he has to wait. So he will end up on somebody's roster. Like, I don't believe Dez Bryant will be a free agent all season or anything of that nature. Matter of fact, I doubt he makes it through the summer without getting signed by somebody. Because you got many camps going on. Somebody gets injured. Some team gets desperate. They call up Dez, offer him a contract. There you go. He takes it. So he won't go through the season as a free agent, I don't think. You know, I think Dez is still too talented to be on the all year free agent level. He still has some talent. He's just slowed down. And I honestly think that a lot of it has to do with effort. A lot of it has to do with him relaxing, you know, getting that contract, big contract. That's what happens with a lot of these guys. That's why you see guys like Antonio Brown, you know, it's kind of like, damn, he got his money and he still perform. Like, you see a lot of these guys that get paid, their performance slows down because it's like, damn, well, I don't really gotta go as hard now because I done got paid. So that's how it is sometimes. But yeah, man, as far as teams, Dez Bryant, I don't know who he really fits with. I mean, the 49ers, like I said, Packers. There's been some chirping about the Redskins, maybe. I don't really see him with Alex Smith. I don't really see that working out too well, man. But regardless, he will be on somebody's roster, man. It's just Dez's ego. I don't know why he didn't accept that Ravens offer. I don't know whether the numbers weren't right or, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, man. But, you know, if you're looking for employment and if you know in your heart of hearts, you know, that you're kind of on the tail end of your career, which I think he knows that in his heart of heart that he's on the tail end of his career. He still thinks that he has something left, but I think he knows, like, yeah, I'm on the tail end of my career. Like, I'm getting there. I'm not there, but I'm getting there. If you know that you have all those things going against you, then somebody comes out and offers you a contract, which, if I remember, it was a decent contract, I guess. But I guess it wasn't what he was looking for. So somebody offers you that, you should take it. Shouldn't be picky. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's Dez Bryant's ego. So that's just the way it is, I guess. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Dez and see what team he ends up on eventually. So before I transition to the NBA, talk about the Cleveland Browns real fast, getting that spot on Hard Knocks this year. So they've been chosen to be on Hard Knocks, the show on HBO that details, follows a team through training camp, and basically looks at their preparation for the upcoming NFL season. So the Browns will be the team this year. Now, I don't watch that show. I honestly can't tell you the last time I watched it. For one, I don't got HBO, and two, I don't got any type of cable. So I'm internet only, so I don't have any of that stuff. But yeah, man. I don't really watch the show, but I say that to say I am excited about the Browns this year, man. I'm excited about the Browns, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really excited about them. I'm telling y'all, man, Hugh Jackson is a really good offensive mind, man. I'm telling you, him and Ty Haley, bro. Seriously, like the offense won't be the reason that they don't win games. Maybe the defense, but the offense is definitely not going to be the reason that they don't win games. I'm telling you, that they're going to win games this year. They will hover around 500. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will hover around 500. Straight up. Like, I just like what they did this offseason, bringing in Tyrod Taylor. I don't like the Baker Mayfield pick, but whatever. They brought in Carlos Hyde. They drafted Nick Chubb. My guy, who I think will end up being, if not the best running back in the draft, to come out of this draft. He will be up there. He'll be like top 3. He'll place. I'll put it like that. So they got Nick Chubb, Carlos Hyde. What they got? Still got Josh Gordon. Luckily, he's been able to keep his nose clean. Literally and figuratively this offseason. Oh man, that was mean. But seriously, I'm glad that he has. He seems to be on the right path, man. You know what I'm saying? He's been out of the news. Hopefully, he comes back. And he's the 2013 Josh Gordon, 2013, 2014 Josh Gordon. Like, just tearing the league up. I mean, you still got that going for you. They made a couple moves on defense. Myles Garrett. They drafted Denzel Ward. They got Demarius Randall from the Packers, who, he's not necessarily, he ain't Darrelle Reeves out there, but, he'll be able to contribute. And, they've made a few more additions, man. So, I think that the Browns will be very good next year. I'm excited to see them, man. Like, you see a Cleveland Browns game on TV, you won't be so prone to turn away from it like you were last year with Deshaun Keyes out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will get some. I think you will get some interesting games out of Cleveland. And I forgot to mention they got Jarvis Landry. So. They will put up some points. I think they will put up points, man. I think Hugh Jackson and Ty Haley gonna have that offense running. Serious. They will be turning. They gonna be rolling, partner. Seriously. So I'm excited to see the Browns, man. Not necessarily on Hard Knocks, but this season, I'm excited to see them, man. You never know. I'm not saying that they are the Philadelphia Eagles, but remember the Philadelphia Eagles? They were 7-9 the previous year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were 7-9. Dak Prescott was tearing the league up. Everybody was talking about how Dak Prescott was so much better than Carson Wentz. So what happened? The next year, they win the Super Bowl. So, you never know, man. A few additions here, a few additions there. Hey, things can change. I'm not saying that Cleveland's going to win the championship next year. I'm not even saying they're going to make the playoffs. All I'm saying is I think they're going to be interesting to watch. I think they're going to be fun to watch, man. I'm telling y'all. You heard it on T-True here first, man. I'm telling you. Cleveland Browns games, they will actually be interesting next year. Seriously. Ty Haley, Hugh Jackson, man, they going to have that offense turning. Now, I can't say the defense is going to be able to stop anybody, but they're going to be turning, bro. I'm telling you, now that Hugh Jackson actually has somebody who can hit fish in a barrel, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that's not raw like Deshaun Kaiser was. Yeah. I think Cleveland fans should be proud. Cleveland fans should be excited. I guess I should say. So, that was pretty much my only reason for mentioning that. I'm very excited to see Cleveland this year. So, you guys should be excited too, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Look out for them. Look out for Cleveland. I'm telling you. Now, I can't say the same for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Y'all like that little segue? Y'all like that. Yeah, man. Cavs in trouble, bro. Yeah, they're in trouble, man. It's not over. I don't think that it's over.
If I were a bet man, if my life depended on it, I would pick the Celtics. I mean, it don't look good, man. It does not look good for LeBron, man. Don't look good for Brun, man. Don't look good, man. So I'm not gonna lie, man. Look, LeBron, like I looked at the press conference he had after the game, like LeBron honestly looks like he's checked out. Like that was demoralizing for him to get a 40-point triple double and they still lose. Like that's demoralizing, man. You know, you go out there, you put it all on line, you do your part, and yeah, you still get trounced. Like he looked like he checked out, man. I think LeBron's not stupid. LeBron's not stupid at all, man. You know what I'm saying? He sees what we sees. As a matter of fact, he sees more because he's actually out there and he's around the players all day. He's around the team all the time. So he's not stupid. He sees what's going on here. He sees what's about to happen. He sees the Warriors out there on, out there in the West. He knows what's about to go down. So I honestly think LeBron checked out, man. I can't blame him. You know what I'm saying? It's just after a certain point, man, you kind of just like you throw up your hands, man. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron pulled a Kobe, man. Remember Kobe in that game? It was in the playoffs. I think it was against the Phoenix Suns, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Kobe was like just so passive. He would just pass the ball, not taking any shots, just passing the ball. He was just so pissed off. He was like, okay, I shoot too damn much. All right, well, y'all do it then. Just being so passive. Like, he basically quit that game, which a lot of people forget about. Like, he quit that game. I honestly would not be surprised if we see something like that from LeBron. Like, damn, why is LeBron steady passing? Why is he so passive now? Yeah, he's like, man, screw it. I'm not about to keep doing this. Y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm ready to go home. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. But I mean, LeBron's a competitor. He's gonna battle it out. I mean, he's gonna do his thing. He's gonna continue to fight. He's gonna continue to, try to help his teammates out and try to help the team and try to win because he wants to win, just like everybody else does. But I just would not be surprised if he did that, man. But yeah, the Cavs in trouble, bro. Cavs are in trouble. I mean, when I put out the last podcast, I said, yeah, I thought that LeBron would see them through and the series would be tied 1-1. Nope. 2-0. 2-0, man. So, I don't know, man. They got to get moving and grooving. They got to do something. They have to do something, bro, because they just do not look good, man. J.R. Smith does not look good. George Hill looks lost. Rodney Hood can't even get it. Rodney Hood is somewhere in the hood. He ain't even on the floor. Like, for Kevin Love is actually stepping up and helping, which nobody wants to give him credit for. Whenever he doesn't help, he needs to be traded. But when he helps, nobody says anything. So I mean, they look bad, man. Ty Lue looks lost. I mean, they just look like a bunch of lost souls, man. This is a bunch of lost brothers, man. Like, straight up. So, and I honestly think that LeBron's out of there after this year. No doubt. No doubt about it. LeBron's out of there this year. I've been pretty solid and I've been pretty steadfast in saying, yeah, regardless, this year, either two things are going to happen. They are going to get beat in the Eastern Conference Finals, or they are going to get swept by the Warriors. And everything is going to set up so perfectly for LeBron to leave. And as you can see, it is setting up perfectly for LeBron James to get the hell up out of there. Nobody will blame him. I don't think, besides some idiot who lives in his mother's basement, I don't think any of the Cleveland fans will be burning his jerseys, because I think they understand. He bought them a championship. He doesn't owe them anything. He does not owe them anything. Y'all got a championship. You got a championship now. You know? So he does not owe the city of Cleveland anything. He damn sure doesn't owe Dan Gilbert anything. So I think that it's setting up perfectly for him to leave, man. It's setting up perfectly for him to leave. So the Cleveland game, they gotta get rolling, man. I mean, they definitely need some production out of George Hill and J.R. Smith, man. Like those guys, they gotta produce, man. You gotta be better than that. I mean, to be honest, bro, they way better than me. Cause I've been said J.R. Smith. Like, dude, you can't just keep going out there laying eggs, man. Scoring like 3 points, missing all the shots. Like, man, no, you can't do that. Like, we need you, man. We need you to step it up. You feel me? We need you to step it up, man. And they hadn't been stepping up. A lot of those role players, they just haven't been stepping up. And it shows. It shows, man. The Celtics got heart. Celtics got heart, man. They got guys like Terry Rozier who steps in and does his thing. You know what I'm saying? Al Horford, he stepped up. Mark Smart stepped up. I mean, these guys have stepped up tremendously, man. Jason Tatum, rookie, stepped up. Like, all these guys, man, have stepped in. Jaylen Brown. And I think some of that has to do with coaching, too, man. You feel me? Like, I think Brad Stevens, like some coaches, like a Bill Belichick, man, some Nick Saban, like, you have those coaches, man, who are just really good. Jim Harbaugh, like, they are able to coach their players up and make them look better than what they are. Like, they can coach them up. Like, Terry Rozier may not look like that on the Atlanta Hawks. You know what I'm saying? But you have a guy in Brad Stevens who can elevate players like that. He can elevate them, he can motivate them, and he can put them in positions to succeed. And they look good doing it. And they're able to perform at a very high level, man. And I think you're seeing it, man. Ty Lue ain't like that. Ty Lue ain't like that. I don't think Ty Lue is that type of coach, man. You know, Tyronn Lue, he doesn't look that good now that Kyrie Irving's in Boston, man. Yeah, he don't look so good. You feel me? I mean, the Cavs, period, don't look that good. I mean, they miss Kyrie. I know LeBron is missing Kyrie. He misses Kyrie so much. Granted, he's the reason that Kyrie left. He ran him out of town, so he has nobody to blame but himself. But fact of the matter is, he misses him, and he misses that scoring. He misses somebody, right beside him, riding shotgun. Here's the ball, 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he came there, it's supposed to be the big three, right? It's him, Kevin Love, Kyrie. Well, now it's just two of them, and then on some nights it's not even two of them. It's just him. So, Cavs, man, the next game, they're going to come out desperate. They're going to come out firing on all cylinders. And I honestly think that they will win the next game. They will do what Houston did last night, which is come out desperate, letting it all hang out. I mean, they'll be at home. Cleveland will be at home now. So, that's definitely an advantage. I mean, if they can get the next two, I mean, they're right back in it. But of course, they got to get the one first. They got to get the next game first. And I think that they can. I think that they will. So, Cleveland's not out of it yet. They're definitely not out of it yet. But, man, I'm telling you, boy, y'all need to, you Cleveland fans, you LeBron fans should be sweating. That's all I'm saying. Grab that handkerchief, man, and get ready to wipe your brow. Wipe your forehead. Because you should definitely be sweating right now. It's not over, but you should be worried. That's cause for concern. That's all I'm saying. Because the Celtics, man, they look like they really believe that they can beat these people. They really believe that they can beat the Cavs. Like, seriously. And I think that they have the motivation. They have these guys, these young guys who don't care. We don't care about LeBron. We don't care about the Cavaliers. We don't care about Tyronn Lue. We don't care about none of that. We about to go out here. We about to ball. Brad Stevens putting them in good positions, coaching them up. Like they are ready. They ready, man. And I mean that is an extraordinary job by the Celtics, man. I'm telling y'all, man. If you're in the NBA, man, look here. Don't try to make a deal with Danny Ainge. Just don't try, man. Like, Danny Ainge is just on a whole nother level with this with this GM stuff, man. Basketball operation stuff, man. He's on a whole nother level. You look at these players he got, man. Come on, bro. Hiring Brad Stevens, man, come on. Like I just don't try to go toe to toe with Danny Ainge and any of this stuff, man. Because he is just on a whole nother level. So, anyway, Cavs fans, you should be concerned. Celtics fans, you should be happy. But I think that the Cavs get the next game. So they'll be right back in it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they got the next game after that. But I expect them to get the next game. Despite how they've looked over the past 2 games. I think that they'll get the next game. So, anyway, let's move on to the Western Conference, man. The Warriors and the Rockets. So the Rockets ended up getting the win last night. And yeah, they came out desperate, man. They came out firing on all cylinders. They went at Steph Curry. Steph Curry had about 16 points, I think. Yeah, they came out. They obviously made some adjustments, and it worked. Now, they will proceed to lose. Let's see, it's a series tied 1-1. Well, they will proceed to lose the next 3 games. I think that's about it. I've said Warriors in 5, and I'm sticking to it. Warriors in 5, man. That's it. I don't think that they'll get another one off. I think that is the only game that they will get off on the Warriors, man. The Warriors are just too good. They're just too good, man. They just got too much ammo. Too much ammo, bro. Just too much. I mean, you might catch them slipping from time to time. I'm not saying they can't get caught slipping, which is why I picked them to win in 5 games and not a sweep. I mean, you look at each of their series, they've lost 1 game. So now they've lost that 1 game. And I don't expect them to lose anymore. I expect them to run the Rockets off the floor the next 3 games. So the Warriors will be back in the finals. You feel me? So my thoughts on that, man. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed. I may or may not drop a podcast on Saturday. May drop an episode on Saturday, may not. Depends on how I feel and depends on what I got going on. So regardless, man, just be on the lookout. You know, if you're subscribed through the Podbean app, if you're subscribed through the Apple iTunes app, or however you may be listening to this, whatever app you're using, if you subscribe, you should just automatically get notifications whenever a new episode, drops or whatever. And as always, follow me on the social media handles. I always leave them in the description. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. So anyway, have a good weekend and be safe out there, man. And I will definitely talk to you guys on next Tuesday, man. But be on the lookout Saturday. I may or may not drop a podcast, man. But be on the lookout. So have a good weekend. Be safe. And I will talk to you later. Peace.